I finally have an idea for my second video. So I think I'm talking about like the direction of this channel and what I'm gonna be doing and all that stuff. So I think I'm gonna post like step 1, step 2, step 3 parts on how to launch on Amazon, how to be successful, what are like some tips or advices that are people that are already like in the process of like maybe transitioning from wholesale to private label, or you know, RA and OA, you know, like it's up to pref, you know, like you can do whatever business model you want. But I think the thing you have to remember is the lower the barrier to entry, the lower the risk and the lower the chance of success is gonna be, right? But also the same side, high risk, it's going to be cost you a lot of money, a lot of time, or just a lot of pressure and stress onto you. So just be mindful of that. But I think I'll have on the channel just like different people from different, you know, fields and expertise. You know, I'm an expert in my own field of ecom, but that doesn't make me expert in construction, real estate. Like, there are still other fields, and if you have a learner's mindset, I think you can go a long way. Because if you're always willing to be open-minded and learn about someone else's and how they came to that, you know, position, I think it opened you up to be like, you know what? I can also pair that as an income stream. And most people don't think about that. They are really shallow. They like to take. And the thing is, you have to give sometimes, right? Sometimes if there's a trade skill that you really want to learn, I think it's worth going into it, you know? But when they have nothing really to offer, then yes, it's either time or money that, you know, they're going to have to give up for you to be able to make it worthwhile, right? But also, this goes to say, like, the progression of my videos are getting, you know, progressively better, like the SEO and the backside and the thumbnails or whatever. But if any videographers have proof and they have their own Google Drive to edit videos and all that stuff, you know, I already have a main one that I just need to get in contact with and get back to being consistent with. But you know, it doesn't hurt to have a backup one that's like in the States that can follow and keep up with my life. And maybe when we go on travels, you know, I'll pay for the travels, they can travel with me and just record it. Because man, dude, when you go to, like, I went with Japan with my brother and I took him to first class, and like it started off real good. I was recording and that shit was going ham, you know. But then it gets to the point where I'm just like, you know, I forget to record, or it feels bad because the crowd is around me, and I'm just like, oh, you know. And then towards the end of the trip, I just stopped recording all entirely, and I'm just like, what the heck, bruh? And kudos to you YouTubers that like actually scale it up to this point and like consistent work. Kudos, man. But yeah, even this, like look, I went three weeks off the board, and it's like, you know, like getting back to it, like, it's cool. It feels natural for me because I just love talking. That's how it is. But making time for it, you know, like I'm busy, you know, getting new business opportunities, the acquisitions, training the mentees, like just hanging out with friends, catching up in life, you know, enjoying my freedom that I earned because I worked so hard for 2 whole years, you know. It took me so long to get to this point, you know, but compare that to the 40 years that I would have worked. Hell yeah, I would have done this every day of the week over. It wouldn't matter to me, you know. I think this would be worth what my sacrifices had to go for, you know. And I think that's going to anybody that's, you know, young and wanting to learn, you know. If you want to do something in your life, man, save up towards it and do it. But do your research, do your due diligence, see if this is something you actually can see yourself following through for a year, 6 months to a year. Because most people, they have that ounce of motivation for whatever video they watched, and then it just dies out, you know. The main part that I said in my last video is consistency. If you can be consistent, you are good. If you cannot be consistent, then it's just gonna falter, you know. It requires time. In any business that you do, it requires time. Whether to build clientele, whether to build customer relations, whether to build rapport, whether to build your inventory like Toro or whatever, like, it requires time. You cannot outpace yourself like just in one day. Like, nothing was built in one day, just like stocks. If you only have $1 to your name, that is going to be so hard to hit 10K. Like, for real, it is going to be so hard to hit 10K. with $1, you know? You need to make the craziest options trade in your life that I've ever heard, you know? Or, you know, e-commerce, that one product, you know, like, even if you sell it and make a, you know, profit off of it, it would take you so much more to, like, change yourself to the point where it was, like, gonna do much, right? One product sale might net you, like, so, you know, just random numbers, 20, 30 bucks. You're still going to need more units. One unit isn't gonna make you rich overnight. And nothing will make you rich overnight, honestly. You know, the next meme coin that people tell you to do, guess what? Those are probably the same people that are struggling to get out of their previous meme coin. So they have this one up so they can exit. You are the exit liquidity, my boy. You know, like, holy but some people don't understand that, and I'm just like, all right, you know, like, those people that get lucky, you have to really zoom out and look at the other 99%. Are they all successful at the same meme coin or whatever, right? If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. You can't get rich overnight. I don't think that's how it works, coming from my perspective, right? And that's why I understood why my parents were so harsh on me. Like, why would you quit a secured job, a secured position in a 9-to-5, you know? CS degree, graduated, you know, I was in hardware verification, you know, I did not need to quit. But it comes to the point where it's like, make your own destiny, you know? Because in the end of the day, I mean, my parents aren't going to really fulfill my dreams, you know? Like, they're not just going to retire themselves, you know? That's my dream for them, you know? I want to retire them, buy nice cars, have nice fun, come back from Japan, do all these wild adventures, you know? And that's exactly what I did. I enjoyed myself in what I did. And it took a while, but I made it, you know? And did it happen overnight? Hell no. As much as I would want to say, oh yeah, it happened overnight, it was cool, it was easy. No, it wasn't, you know? There were some nights where I was just like, oh my god, bruh. But that's the thing. In my very first video, I think I also emphasized it. If you decide to go this path, it also has its own pros and cons. When you do it, you know, a 9-to-5, you're being told to work from 9 to 5. You're being told the objective, the goal, the deadline, and you get paid out. You know, 8 hours of work, you get paid. Honest work. Whereas business, if that does not go well, you have a hiccup, you need to help your clients, the product isn't doing well, the car isn't doing well, whatever business it may be, right? You still have to, it could very well extend over, you know, 16 hours, the whole day, and you're stressing about it. But when it works and you're consistent about it and you always do maintenance on your business, you should be fine, you know? But yeah, like, going back to before I jumped ships, like, my parents were so harsh on it. It's like, why would you leave a secure path? Because they knew honest work, you know, 8 hours of honest work, you get paid 8 hours, you know, time for money. I mean, yes, you spend your time, you get the money. But at some point I was like, if people can make money off of stocks, I mean, there clearly has to be another business that you could also do and make money, you know, trade money for more money, you know, instead of time for money. Because there's only a finite time and there's an infinite potential of money if you have the abundance mindset. If you have the scarcity mindset, of course, yeah, you're gonna be like, oh hell no, you know, there's not enough money in the world. But if you think open-minded and you think you can do it, there will be plenty of money to go around. That is the abundant mindset. If you have that, you'll be fine. Just like me, I'll be able to get another supercar. Like, the abundant mindset to be able to propose to yourself that you're gonna get another K1. Just like at the time when I was sitting in my Corvette, I was like, I will have a supercar. I don't know when, but eventually, right? And boom, I am now sitting in one. I own it. Like, holy. And all those comments are like, oh, you know, you probably rented it, blah, 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 this and that. I mean, you can't really give a peace of mind to it, you know? Like, people will say anything and anything to make themselves feel better about themselves. It's just how it is. Like, when you live like that business and you finally make it, those people that, you know, so-called friends will start asking for discounts, start asking for, hey, man, can you teach for free and all that stuff? But they're going to be the same people that was either talking behind your back or just didn't believe in you. And some of them, you know, I think it comes from a good place, where it's like, same thing with my parents. It's like, hey, you know, I feel like you shouldn't do this, blah, 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 this and that. But it's like, why don't you let me suffer and find out for myself, you know, instead of like tell me it's not going to work, you know? And like, it's not impossible. They just reach a ceiling capacity to themselves where they're like, nah, this is like, this can't be true. But if you don't try, then how will you know? It's the same people that are like, will diss on like a dish or like a food and be like, ugh, like that sounds disgusting, but like they have never tried it in their life. It's gonna be the same thing here. They diss the business, but they have never once tried something for themselves. They don't even have to start a business, but like getting more fit, getting whatever. It's gonna be those same people that knock you down. And why would you take advice from them when they haven't actually done anything significant enough for you to be like, okay, you know? And I get it. There's a bunch of scams in the world. There's a bunch of non-legit things, you know, drugs, all that stuff. There's quick ways to make, not quick ways to make money, but there is ways you can come about having a lot of money. But that's why it takes longer for some people, because doing the right, proper, moral way takes time. And that's the cool thing. I think I love bringing on the mentees that I teach, the ones that are comfortable at least coming on, you know, getting their insight, their success, their doubts, like how did it start, you know. And it's all a process. Like, you have to believe in yourself. You believe in yourself, you're halfway there. You just have to now put in the work for it. You know, your mindset's locked in, you got it. Like, you can achieve it. But I don't think if you doubt yourself, then every single little progress you make, you'll be like, okay, cool. But every setback you make, you'll amplify it 10 times more than it needs to be, you know. And that's where you shoot yourself down to where you're like, I shouldn't do this, you know, I should blah, 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 you know. It's like, but realize if you do that, you'll be stuck back in the 9 to 5, like the regular average life. And that's not the way to think about it. The way to think about it is believe you can do it. You have the potential. I believe in you. You know, I hope you go and out there and chase your dreams and fulfill whatever it may be. Whether it may be like getting a Viper, getting a nice house, being able to treat your family, whatever it may be, you know. Remind yourself that is your why, and then the how will just all come into place over time, because then you're eventually gonna figure out the how, because your why is so strong enough to where you're like, okay, how do I do this? Like, and then you'll figure out bits and pieces that will lead to that. Like, okay, I want to save up so I can go to Disney or whatever, right? You're going to start picking up more jobs. You're going to start doing this more. You start doing that more, you know? No, so not per se start a business, but just be better, you know? Go achieve the dreams that you want to be, no matter how big or small. Don't let no one shoot you down of whatever dream it may be. I don't care how freaking weird or, you know, corny your dream is, man. Like, if it is to like get like a boat, then fuck it, you know, go get it. Or if you want to franchise a restaurant, fuck it. You want to be a professional esports player, fuck it, you know, put in the hours to do it. Put in the hours in the aim labs to aim, get better, you know, put yourself in tournaments, put yourself in practice, hire a coach, get better, you know. I have a friend that wants to get better at Tekken, so he hired a coach for Tekken, you know. He took my advice where I was like, you know, for my bodybuilding thing, I hired a coach to get better at it, you know, and he hired a person for Tekken, you know. Like, whatever your hobby and passion is, man, invest time into it. Invest time into yourself is my word. Because you can buy a new iPhone every year. You can go to Cabo every year, but that's not investing into yourself, you know? Like, if you invest in yourself, then think of it as compound interest over time. I mean, this only took 2.5 years, you know? Like, I invested in myself every step of the way. And now I came to this point where I can just be cruising around my city in a green Lambo. My green Lambo. Like, it's still crazy. Like, it's still surreal to me to be like, I drive around in the city in an exotic, you know? And for some people, it just makes them smile when they're like, whoa, like, it's right there, whoa. Like, it's definitely a neck breaker for sure. But yeah, going through all stages of my life, you know, I had a V6 Camry, no one batted an eye towards me. A V8, C8, you know, there were some eyeballs, like how does a youngster have a C8, you know? Is he financially irresponsible, or what did he do to get to that point? And that's the same thing. there's always two sides. Someone's gonna think, oh, this guy probably rented it, blah blah blah, or just financially in debt to it, whatever. Or the other side's like, how did that person come to have that? Or same thing here, oh, this is probably like an exotic rental somewhere, but like in the Midwest where I live, you're not gonna find a rental like this. Hell, I'll rent it out to you. Go ahead, because there is no rental here. It's bad. It goes back to Shell's like, if you let those words get to you, then clearly you're letting those people's opinions run run over you. But in the end, if you're confident in what you do and everything, like, then they'll probably never obtain this anyway. It's just something to make themselves feel better. It's a defense mechanism. And for here, I'm just glad for the other half that's like, dude, it took so much courage, but to reach out to you, but like you've been a huge motivation, and I stand by the one quote that's on my bio, inspire before we expire. There's only a finite amount of time to do things and dreams and go accomplish them. Whether it be chase that business, get that dream body, get that new job career, go travel for the first time, talk to that girl that you've wanted to talk to, like all that stuff. There's a finite amount of time, and the worst thing that can happen is not per se rejection or denial. It's just a redirection. That just wasn't meant for you. Like, and there's no perfect time. Like when I met my girl, it was literally on the highway. Like I was not expecting to have a relationship for a while. Like things will line up when it's time. But as long as you still put in the work and the things you need to be doing, when luck meets opportunity, that's when you were ready for it. You were primed for it. The next step is just to hit it, right? Same thing for business. Like I finally hit first place bodybuilding, and I took it serious to start business, and at first I was like, should I be doing business simultaneously while going to college, while competing? But then I thought about it, I'm like, let's focus on the two main things that need to be knocked out, and then I can just focus on business. And that's exactly what I did, and now it led me here. And I didn't know if my business was going to be super successful or a complete dud, and the first one, it did fail. My clothing brand was a complete dookie fire, like holy, but you learned. I learned so much from it, that all of this can happen if you don't give up and improvise and improve, I think, and as any great, a great-minded person is going to be, is adaptability. If you can adapt to the situation and the environment, I think you'll do very well in whatever you end up wanting to pursue. So, best wishes, I think this is, I'm going to end it here, part 2. Peace, gang.